Welcome to beautiful Barney's Joy here in South Dartmouth, Massachusetts. My name is Rachel Stronach. I'm the Executive Director at the Lloyd Center for the Environment. Today we are going to take you on a tour of the 4 habitats that make up this ecosystem. Habitats that are connected by food chains and different organisms that move between them. Right now, if you take a look, Barney's Joy is a beautiful barrier beach system. We are going to start our tour today at the beach and then move to the dunes, which actually creates the barrier, and then down through the Saltmarsh and finally the estuary. Take a look at all of the plants and animals that make up this wonderful ecosystem. Welcome to the Barrier Beach. This is our first habitat in our 4 habitat exploration of the Barney's Joy ecosystem. The Barrier Beach is exposed to the harsh wind and waves that come off the ocean. The dunes that are formed help protect everything that is land. The process of erosion, the breaking down of shells and rocks, some granite, are what forms the fine sand that we have here. On a daily basis, the waves bring in both mollusk shells and crustaceans. These organisms have very soft, squishy bodies and then hard outer shells to help protect them. The Barrier Beach is also a wonderful place for nesting shorebirds, such as piping plover. One of the most interesting species of crab lives under the sand in the area where the waves break on the shore. These mole crabs are perfectly adapted for life on the beach. They are camouflaged to the sand and experts at digging through the sand. Welcome to the dunes. This is the second habitat in our exploration of the Barney's Joy ecosystems. Dunes can be found all along the Atlantic coast in barrier beach systems. Along with the beach, the dunes help protect everything inland from the harsh wind and waves that come off the water. Dunes are formed when sand is moved by wind and water and piled up in the back shore. As the sand grows, pioneer plants come, seeds that are spread by animals in the wind. Our first pioneer plant that we see in the dunes is the beach grass. The beach grass has net-like roots called rhizomes that work like networks throughout the sand. One area of beach grass is connected by this entire system. Once the beach grass holds the dune in place, it makes it more suitable for other plants in the area. You'll see small trees like the cedar. You'll see beach pea, which is a plant with a curly tendril and a nice bright purple blossom. The curly tendril helps the beach pea move around the beach grass to move closer to the sun for photosynthesis. Another plant commonly found on the dunes is dusty miller. The leaves, the broad leaf, has a dusty appearance that helps in a process called transpiration. It helps keep more water inside the plant. Other plants that can be found on the dune, the beautiful beach rose and the itchy poison ivy. So remember, leaves of 3, leave it be. Below the sand is fresh water. These plants would not be able to survive without the fresh water that lays beneath the sand. A lot of the plants have deep tap roots that go down to help suck up the water and feed the plants. This water comes from rain. Welcome to the Saltmarsh. This is the third habitat in our exploration of the Barney's Joy ecosystem. A saltmarsh is a type of wetland, and as the name sounds, it means that the ground is wet. The high tide floods this area and helps to build it up. All of the dead organisms from out in the water wash up here and break down. That's what helps to form the wetland. The soil here, or peat, is made up of dead and decaying plants and animals that wash in from the water. If you look at our corer sample here, you can see that we have approximately 4 inches of peat. It takes 100 years to form just 1 inch of peat. That means that this salt marsh is approximately 400 years old. All of the nutrients in the peat make this area really suitable for any type of plant. Plants love the nutrients that they can suck up from the peat. The peat in the salt marsh, which is so nutrient dense, makes this a wonderful place for plants or producers. Producers make their own food using the nutrients from the peat, water, and sunlight. Because there are so many producers here, we also find a significant number of consumers. Consumers are organisms that eat other things to get their energy. And because we have all that dead, decaying matter washing up here, we also find a significant number of decomposers. Decomposers are organisms that eat dead stuff and help to break it down to form the peat. So again, this peat is very full of nutrients. And when the high tide comes in, the nutrients are absorbed from the salt marsh and then pulled back out into the ocean and estuary at low tide. Welcome to the estuary. This is our 4th habitat in the exploration of the Barney's Joy ecosystem. An estuary is a place where salt water from the ocean meets and mixes with fresh water, generally from a river or a stream. The fresh water here, however, is coming from underground springs. This mixture of salt water and fresh water is called brackish water, and the salinity, or the amount of salt in the water, can fluctuate depending on the tide. At high tide, you have a higher salinity, and at low tide, you have a lower salinity. Now, the estuary is also known as the ocean's nursery because it's a great place for fish and other organisms to come in and lay their eggs. Generally, larger predators do not enter the estuary. Sometimes we even see organisms such as a horseshoe crab come up out of the water onto the sand and lay their eggs. Estuaries also make it possible for species such as the American green eel to leave their freshwater home and go into the ocean to reproduce.